This is the piece of paper. From HR's perspective, sloppy, unorganized CV. Okay, I am a great person. I have experience. Why I don't get shortlisted? I recently came across a very interesting post on LinkedIn. The author was saying something like, "Dear HRs and recruiters, stop asking candidates for great CVs, just give them jobs. Don't look at the paper." And while I agree that some companies have very formal things that your CV should meet to be considered, I strongly disagree that CV doesn't matter. And today, in our step 2 of the journey, once we've established our motivation, before you start looking for a job, you have to prepare your CV. I really want to explain from HR's perspective how I go through the CVs and which CVs are getting shortlisted, so you understand the logic behind HR's or recruiter mind, so you could tweak your CV accordingly and get more chances and more job opportunities. I see that candidates think like this: okay, I am a great person, I have experience, I don't understand why I don't get shortlisted. And what this person takes out of the equation is there are hundreds of profiles that are very similar to yours. There is a very high competition on the level of CV applications. Let's say we have a waiter position and we get not 5, not 10, not 20, we get hundreds, literally hundreds of CVs when we have only 2, 3, 5 openings. So can you imagine the numbers of CVs we go through and we have to choose from to close those positions? It's kind of naive to think that HR or recruiter can meet with everyone and give the chance to prove themselves to every person. This is just humanly impossible physically, because there is not enough time for that. So the only thing that is standing between you and your invitation for an interview, this is the piece of paper. Whatever we want to call it, is it fair, not fair? The thing is that this is the only thing that recruiter sees and that he or she is able to evaluate you on. And it's very interesting when candidates expect recruiter to see their great personality and their great skill set behind the sloppy, unorganized CV that does not include even that information. So you have to understand, your clothes, the words you choose, they are a representation of you. Same goes for your CV, because when you take a CV that is well done, it does stand out, and this is your only job, is to stand out from dozens and dozens of other CVs. It seems that CV is just a piece of paper, but it also says a lot about your personality. I've never seen organized, responsible person sending a messy CV with picture that does not represent them in the best possible way. The way you treat your CV shows HR manager your approach to how you do stuff, how you approach your life, and it does matter. Okay, now let's dive into specifics. What exactly you have to do. First and foremost, when I say you have to stand out, by no means I talk about colorful, very bright designs, graphics, diagrams. No, in CV's world, less is more. All you need is well-organized, structured CV with all the necessary information in all the right places. That's it. Let's go through quick checkpoints that I find the most important to keep in mind when you are working on your CV. First, title in your CV should match the position you're applying for, because this is really misleading when somebody applies for a waiter position, but in CV it says assistant office manager or something like this. If you're considering a few different positions, just save 2, 3, 4, 5 versions, copies of your CVs with different titles. And and make sure to name them properly. The name of the file helps HR manager to find it when she needs it or he needs it. So make sure that your name of the file says your name, your last name, and the position you're applying for. Second checkpoint is like visual appearance of your CV. Make sure that you have one, maximum 2 fonts in your CV. You can do your titles and subtitles maybe in bold or underlined or a little bit bigger, but don't switch fonts too often, and don't use, please, like very fancy calligraphic fonts. They are unreadable and they don't bring any value to your CV. Make it simple. From my experience, best way to structure, and for me, best way to look through the profile is when it's structured like this: your personal information, your education, then your experience from the last place of work to the first one. So you'll start with your current job and you go backwards to your first place of work. And then like your skills, any additional information you want to add. If you use bullets, make sure it's the same bullets. When you list your experience in blocks, make sure that each block of your experience has the same structure. So if you start with date and then your position and then company name and then your responsibilities, make sure that each work experience is structured this way. This will help to navigate through your CV much easier, and this just like music to my ears, but to my eyes when I look at the CV, where you can very quickly to find all the information that you need. In terms of colors, I would not recommend using more than one additional color besides white and black, because it again overloads the image. And try to imagine browsing through hundreds of colorful CVs. You can get your recruiter a brain seizure. Third checkpoint that I want to talk about is your picture. Now, I know in some countries this is not common to include your picture in your CV, but as I work in hospitality recruitment in Gulf countries, I highly encourage you to do that if you are looking for a job there. Not because I want to see how you look and judge you on that, not at all, but because when you look through dozens or hundreds of CVs, the picture is the best and easiest way to identify a person, because it's very hard for us to remember all the information and even to read through our comments, but it's very easy for us to look at the picture and remember a person that we interviewed, or what kind of feelings or like what kind of experience that was during that interview, because it's way easier to remember a face rather than the experience. So this is a very simple tool that you can use that will put you aside from other candidates, that will show your individuality. But again, when we are talking about picture, make sure it represents you in the best possible way. Picture that you choose doesn't just show how you look. It also shows a little bit of your personality. How did you choose? Why did you choose this specific picture to represent you in your CV? Ideal picture is, it's kind of like picture for the documents, but where you look good. It's not super strict, but avoid being in sunglasses with a glass of cocktail or like with a dozen other people in the picture. Make sure that your face doesn't have this crazy inappropriate impressions. Just a simple, well-lit photo where you look good. That's it. That will go a long way. And last technical checkpoint here is always make sure that you are sending your CV in PDF format. Word does not hold its original formatting, and it opens differently on different devices. So all your time you spend for preparing perfect image of your CV may just go to waste if opened on a computer that doesn't support a font that you used or something else. JPEG is, well, not only a poor taste to send your CV in JPEG, but also all the companies have some kind of software that they save your CV to. And that software usually parses CVs by keywords or skills or like languages or something, and JPEG is not parsable, and it will make harder for HR manager to find your CV in their database when they have a suitable opportunity. This is it, guys. Don't overthink it. It shouldn't be too complicated. Just make it practical. If you follow those 4 simple checkpoints, you are golden. What kind of adjectives you think of while looking at your CV? These are adjectives that most likely will appear in HR's head when they will think of you. So be mindful of that. Let me know if you have any questions on this topic in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Step number 3 of the guide will be about how to actually look for a job, what tools there are, and how to use them the best possible way to ensure the results. I'll see you there. Bye.